One set of them that we need, just send it back. So we've been trying to get Ron to figure out, here's all the numbers, here's all the things, we're going to see how the board is doing. We would not be able to allow the fairness regarding. We also do the board test. We're trying to figure this all out.
And
then it's all about you. You close out the show. You're the closer. I'll look forward to your So how have you been since the last time I saw you? Oh wait, here's your presentation. You want your presentation? I also go to Reno Ring. Family up there. That's what I do. I teach early. So when I go to Reno, very often will not be here when I'm from.
We were snacks today, I choked on my scared the bread. I think they're not going to get any for you. No, don't give me no bread.
Yeah, it's really.
I wasn't good.
Because I'm not always.
In that around the libraries.
So I'll just drop that in the background.
Okay, we got the picture.
I've got to get the meeting started.
Nate, are you watching the clock?
I am.
Okay.
Very good at this.
Just grab a seat. If you want some water, drop some time. I'll leave it to you. We're off to the races. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to this pre-Labor Day Friday. Welcome to Las Vegas One Rotary Club. I want to welcome everybody. I'm going to ask you to stand back up, so I guess I should have let you just stay standing, right? So obviously this is our guest speaker, Desiree. We'll introduce her later, and we'll talk all about how wonderful she is and all the things she's done before. But what I'd like to do is get everybody to stand with me, please, and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Is that all right? Hey, what's going on, man? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everybody, for knowing that, since I had to click the slide. If everybody will follow along with me and sing in the song God Bless America. John, if you'll lead us off.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
All right, if you'll remain standing for one more item, and that is the four-way test in Rotary. This is the test that we hold dear and true, and of the things we think, say, or do, number one, is it the truth? Number two, is it fair to all concerned? Number three, will it build goodwill and better friendships? And number four, will it be beneficial to all concerned? Please be seated. All right, so before we get started, I'd like to scan the room and find out if we have any visiting Rotarians in the room. Stand up.
Well, President Nate, I'm Chris Rodenfels from your old club, the fabulous Las Vegas Rotary Club.
Fantastic. Welcome, Chris. Happy to have you here. So, any guest Rotarians? All right, so it's all. Oh, wait. We got two more coming in. The door's closing. All right, fantastic. So as always, I'd like to remind everybody our wonderful home here, Fogo de Chao. Remember, they're always kind enough to give us this room, and as I love to say in life, there is no free lunch, right? So we support the people who support us. Obviously, the club buys appetizers and food, but feel free to have a lemonade, a soda, a vodka, whatever your choice is. Just make sure that you have a good time, and then always you're welcome to stay behind or have your loved one come and have dinner with you here. The food is really, really good, so I enjoy eating here. Getting into agenda items, the All-Star program, we've sent off our paperwork for the All-Star program, so we need more volunteers. We've gotten, I think we're up to about 5 or 6, so we're halfway there. We just need more folks to volunteer for the All-Star program. It's a great way for our club.
Which one's the All-Star program?
I just realized that's out of focus. It's the one where we work over at the Thomas and Mack. Yep. No, Roanoke is the school we support, right?
That's the Thomas and Mack one?
Exactly. And I just realized we were out of focus. And then, of course, we have our next club social coming up, and our club social is coming up September 7th. Right, so that will be at the Mandarin Bar, at the Mandarin Oriental down on the Strip. So Club Social, as you all know, that's the opportunity for us as club members to go out for an evening, have cocktails, have coffee, have whatever it is you have, but it gives you an opportunity for us to socialize and get to know one another personally. So looking forward to that project, right? That's going to be a good time, great time. We have one about every 3 to 4 weeks. So Club Social is also a great way to bring friends to Rotary. This is a great opportunity to, when people ask you, well, what is that Rotary thing? Or what do you do at Rotary, right? Club Social is always a great time to bring somebody over because that's the most non-threatening way for them to get a chance to see, hey, it's just a bunch of business people, it's a bunch of professional people, it's a bunch of civic leaders coming together, forming friendships, doing works in their community, right? And speaking of works in our community, Dr. Mahan and her husband are off on vacation, but she's working on the Leffler grant so that we can apply for the Leffler grant. And of course, we will use those funds to do a project at C.C. Roanoke School because we elected C.C. Roanoke School as our school to do projects at. She's also working with the principal who will come and speak at our club, right, about some of the projects they need. I think the major project we're going to do for them is painting the different states on the ground and some beautification projects at their schools. So as you all know, C.C. Roanoke School is a not underfunded but underprivileged school. Most of the children there, about 90% get free lunch. So it's a very low income school. So all the support we can bring in. And then if the other part of Roanoke that we really enjoyed, since we're a new club that doesn't have much funding, is they already have Spread the Word programs, so all they need is volunteers. So if you volunteer to Spread the Word, what you do is you're volunteering to read to children on a consistent basis. It's a very great program. It's awesome for these kids to get somebody to come and sit and spend some time and read with them. A lot of times this is the first time these children will have ever had a book to take to their home that is their own. So it's a very big event for them, but it's also a very rewarding and fulfilling event for you. And then Christmas party. We have our Christmas party on the schedule, on the agenda. We're working out dates and times for that. So pay attention to the email that'll be coming out. You will see information on the Christmas party, where it's going to be. I can probably give you a hint. It's probably going to be somewhere, I don't know, at our home, Fogo de Chao, that is always so very generous to us and takes good care of us, right? Before we go into, that was too fast. Before we get into our speaker,
who was that?
I would like to, I'd like to, now you know what you have to deal with when you get up here, right? You ready? They don't throw food though. You know what I need? I needed one of the forms, one of the pledge forms. Oh, you don't have it?
I think she has to.
Okay. So unfortunately, one of our members got trapped. She has a client that she has to do her job, so she couldn't come. But the pledge form, so everyone's familiar with the pledge form. That's the form where you pledge your dues, but you also pledge to the different foundations and different organizations, be they Rotary or be they club. So what I want to do right now is invite Richard Reed up, because there is a very special moment. So Richard Reed has what's called the Reed exhibit. And in the Reed exhibit, if you guys didn't get a chance to see it when we had our charter night, that was the exhibit that shows all the different awards in Rotary that you can get from the Paul Harris Foundation through the Arch Clump Society, and there's one more I'm missing. Major donors. Major donors. I wanted to say major benefactors. I knew I would have that wrong.
Benefactors is another part of it. That's when you die.
No flyers?
So
Flyers?
I didn't know we were doing this.
he didn't
Better
know.
start chipping away at that pile, man.
No, this was a surprise. So anyway, so forget the benefactors one, because I want you all to stay alive and healthy for as long as you possibly can. If any of you are my Facebook friends, you see there was a gentleman who lived 110 years. So may you all live a healthy 110 years. But the reason I called Richard Reed up in front of the room is because, speaking of why you donate to these programs, one of the things that happens when we talk about the Paul Harris Foundation, so for every $1,000 donated to the Paul Harris Foundation, which of course those funds are generated in grants that go back to clubs for them to go out and do good works out in the community, but for every $1,000 given by individual Rotarians, you receive a pin. Much like the pin I have on my lapel, which happened to work out today, since I'm having Richard up before the room, to give him his Paul Harris +5 award. So Mr. Reed, if you'll step over here.
Thank you.
Let me pin this on you.
I'll just hand it to me.
And then, no, it's gotta be an official coronation.
Coronation day.
It's not magnets, I know how you like the magnets.
Yeah.
So before we do that, yes, sir.
I'm a little slow.
No.
Why is he getting the award? Not that he shouldn't get it, I mean, what you didn't tell us that. You give it to him.
So for every $1,000 donated to the Paul Harris Foundation,
Right.
you receive a Paul Harris pin. So your Paul Harris.
Oh, so you can have a whole sheet full.
So
Well,
correct.
it
So for
goes-
every $1,000, you get a pin with another level. So there's a Paul Harris 1 when you give 2,000, a Paul Harris 2 when you give 3,000, Paul Harris 4, and it goes all the way up to
Right.
10,000.
The actual item, when it has no little jewels on it, is the original Paul Harris for $1,000.
Okay.
And every
Oh,
time
one.
you add one of the
Paul Harris.
Paul Harris.
Because then 1 is when you get your first stone.
All right, I don't mean.
No.
I understand that.
No, this is an important question, actually.
Oh,
So-
Okay. How it works?
To smile.
Okay, and that's a very valid question, and that's why we built the Reed exhibit. How it works is when you get your first $1,000 that you put in, you get a Paul Harris medal. Okay, it has no jewels on it, it has no colored stones, nothing. Okay, it's the round little item with nothing on it. As you gain more money in putting in the foundation of Rotary International, Paul Harris Fund, every time you get to $1,000 level, they send you a new pin with one more stone
You
added
don't
to
trade
it.
other ones in though.
No, you keep them all.
You don't keep upgrading.
No, it's not
You get to
enough,
keep 'em all.
it's not a trade-in factor, it's a get a new one factor.
I didn't know that was pretty big.
No. And once you get to Paul Harris +9, that puts you at $10,000. And that puts you in as a major donor, and people.
No matter how long you do it over.
Right, it could be 50 years. Now, Chris happens to be a major donor, and he has paid more than $10,000 into Paul Harris Foundation and the Foundation of RI over 10, 20, 30 years. There is no set time limit. And then once you get from major donor is from $10,000 to $250,000. And then from $250,000 all the way up to several million is the Arch Clump. There's 6 levels of Arch Clump. And Arch Clump is the gentleman who created the Foundation for Rotary International several decades ago.
I didn't understand.
No, nobody does, and that's why we built the Reed exhibit, because it's very hard to understand without seeing all these, and most people have never seen them all because no one would ever wear all of them at once. And nobody understood.
I would.
So, but also though the pledge forms, right? So just to explain it a little further, it's not that you have to give a one-time $1,000 donation on your pledge forms for the No, that's not.
That's the signature.
I see.
Speaker.
Perfect. So on the pledge forms, what happens is in the foundation giving section, right, where it says you can give $10, no dollars, $20. when you're giving that $20 every month, it's being kept and accumulated, and once you reach $1,000, you automatically will get your Paul Harris pin, right? And so this was something that I personally didn't understand very well when I first started in Rotary, and then once I figured it out, I said, well, I want one of these pins every year. So then I figured out what's $1,000 divided by 12, and that's what I gave to that foundation. So every year I would receive one of my Paul Harris awards, right? So just so you're clear, it's not like, oh my God, you have to be able to write $1,000 check on the spot. We do have the pledge forms. So right here on the pledge form, and this is the Paul Harris Fellowship, right? And so right in this section of the Paul Harris Fellowship, you can figure out what you'd like to donate to the fellowship, right? And so like I said, when I figured that out, I just simply divided it by 12, and every month I knew I was getting 1/12 of my Paul Harris Fellowship. Yes, sir.
Hey, you may want to launch into how the points work too, because that really adds to the Paul Harris progress.
I don't know the point system very well, so share with us.
Oh, gee, that opened my mouth.
Yeah, you did.
Richard knows.
And who gave me my Paul Harris actually was Chris. So
So the points work if you buy 1,000, or if you don't put 1,000 in, you get a Paul Harris, level, whether it's 1, 2, 3, or whatever, 9. You also get 1,000 points. And those points are good for one additional Paul Harris level for somebody else, but not for you. So you get the 1,000 points, it's like $1,000 worth. If I want to make Susan a Paul Harris 236, or whatever level you would be by now, I could give Susan my 1,000 points. And then she would get another level.
Right.
Or I could give 500 to Susan and 500 to Gloria, or 333 to each, and Dave could cut in on that. And maybe you only need 200 to get to your next level. And maybe you're doing, you're giving donations, you don't do 1,000 at once,
Right.
do 50 here, 100 here, or whatever. And then at 200, you get your next level, somebody could give you 200 points. What we started at our club now is we are trying to encourage people to make deals. Like, you can't give them to yourself, but I'll give you 500 points if you give me 500 points, or I'll give so-and-so 500 points if you give this person 500 points, and we raise everybody up, and you get to use your points that way. So there's a little bit of a bartering going on in the club with the points.
that's an interesting way to do things.
My
Yes,
first
sir.
Paul Harris was this big.
Oh, the
one that went
official
around
Paul
there.
Harris medal. Mhm.
You only get that on the first one.
You don't even get those anymore, they don't send them out.
That's because I'm so old.
When you are
I got one
given,
too.
when you are given points, those points will allow you to go up the levels of Paul Harris, but will not allow you to get into major donor. Major donor is still 10 grand spent hard
Right.
money, no matter what.
Sure.
So many people have gotten to Paul Harris plus 9, but yet only maybe have put in $7,500.
Right, because they receive points
Because
from
they
other
receive
people.
points or a prize. Now, if you guys remember, Nathan, when we did the foundation dinner at January 3rd in Ontario, Randy and I gave away 25 Paul Harris upgrades. We gave away 25,000 points. The
Right.
district had points. So all those people that won the prize, they went up a level in Paul Harris, but they did not go up a level towards major donor.
I see. Okay. Yes, Flora.
Can anyone find out their points? I didn't.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Still point on that, you ain't that.
Well, we can get a printout of how far you are away to your next level, yes.
Unless you're buying gas.
That's it.
Cool. Well, congratulations, Richard. I don't think I said congratulations. Congratulations on your Paul Harris plus 5, sir. And I think I covered all the items of business with everything. So before I bring up our speaker, I want to make sure, because usually the speaker runs to the end of the session, and I want to wish everyone a happy and safe Labor Day weekend, right? Everybody have a great time this weekend. Enjoy your family, your friends, your loved ones, whatever you're doing, but please stay very safe. So, and with that, right? Desiree, come on. So Desiree is a former Air Force technical staff sergeant.
Ooh.
Technical sergeant, yeah.
Technical sergeant. I never get the Air Force ranks right. They
For
should
special.
come up with something. Right? So, and then as she came out of the Air Force, she decided to work with the local project. And from what I understood about the local project is it's crowdfund sourcing, but you do it at a local level to where you bring the community and get them directly involved versus them doing it online, correct?
We're actually not crowdfunding, but we're crowdsourcing.
Crowdsourcing.
So we're bringing everyone in the community together with a community mobile app.
And then Andrew didn't give me any personal information, so share with us just a personal tidbit about yourself. Are you a Las Vegan? Are you here?
Unfortunately, I'm not a Las
All right.
Vegan. I wish I was, but no, I'm from Minnesota, born and raised. Got a thumbs up.
Midwestern.
Midwestern. I actually joined the Air Force straight out of high school. I didn't want to go to college. And I continued my service for 9 years, and I decided I wanted to be a business owner. So then I became a reservist, and I became a business owner at the same time. I owned my own business in Fort Worth, Texas, where I was stationed at. That's where I separated from active duty. I was a business owner and I struggled. And it was very hard to grow my business out there because I was a therapist. I had a sports therapy business, and I had about 3 therapists within my clinic. And it was very difficult to grow and be ahead of the others who were already years down the road. So I decided to go a different avenue. And the reason behind that, to go into more of the community side, is because throughout all my years in the military, I was going to school, getting involved in the community, and I was working with all kinds of children's groups and school groups, and with different groups such as like Rotarians and Kiwanis, and just different groups all around the board. And I always found myself being involved and active. Well, then I found the local project. I moved to Las Vegas a year ago, and I fell in love with it. I figured out that we had so many organizations within Las Vegas, but nobody's connected. Locals can't find everybody. So when I came upon the local project, it was in February, and I immediately jumped in, all aboard, all hands on deck, and put all my passions, all my knowledge, all my experience, everything into it. And we just released our app here in August. So I'm going to tell you a bit about that today, and hope get some interest out of that and spread the word.
Here's your tool, so that's your buck right there. You want the adventure slides.
So the local project is a national company. We have local teams all around the country. Here in Las Vegas, we're going to have 5 teams total. Right now we have 1. Our team is out in Las Vegas, having a local presence and really getting active out there, working with different groups to bring nonprofits a tool that they don't have, or right now they have to pay hundreds of dollars for. Schools, giving them more exposure to reach parents and kids, and then you have businesses who need to reach the local presence, the local reach. So what we're doing is we're spreading the word. We have local presence, we're feet on the street. We have people who are out there every single day talking to new businesses, talking to nonprofits, talking to schools, groups of all sorts. And we're just trying to get everyone together in this app. We have something called an ambassador program, where we have locals who are managing this information. We have locals who are bringing on that information to the app. So right now, because we just released, it's very slow. So what we're looking for is we're looking for groups that are interested in something new, technology, something that includes and localizes the internet. We're working with community partners. Right now we have nonprofits that we're working with, and we're teaming up one-on-one. So if there's a nonprofit, for example, we have one called the Role Project. They help with at-risk youth, and they do talent for them and help them get opportunity, whether it's through dance or vocals or acting. And they do that all within their nonprofit. They're kids that don't have somewhere to go and don't have that opportunity. So what we do is we help them by teaming up with them for their events. They just recently did a ribbon cutting ceremony, we were there. So what they're doing is doing annual events, and we're teaming up with them to help them promote, help them get active, have a loyalty program with their following. Not just Facebook, not just Google. You don't have to just type in their name. You can use our app. We're getting business members. So right now what we're doing is we're bringing members who have businesses onto the program. So we're changing the face of how businesses, small businesses, connect with locals. User referrals, always great. We know how networking is here. Networking is wonderful. So constantly getting word of mouth. Who's the next big restaurant? Who's the best restaurant down the street? I today went to a local spot. Business was great. It was in a little corner. It was a mom and pop chicken shop. It was wonderful. They're coming on the local project. A little more exposure and give them some help locally. So we're growing by organic growth. So every month we're looking at about 10,000 plus coming on through September. We're reaching the community, we're working with everybody, all different businesses, all nonprofits, churches, schools, bringing everyone together if they're in the local community. We're not looking at the corporate guys. They get Google, they have these different search and these different platforms that they use that they're succeeding very greatly at. But it's the local small businesses and small organizations that need the help. So what we have is we have different ways that everyone can come in. Everybody can come in. It doesn't matter if you don't have a budget, we still want you. We want you on here for free, we want to help you out. And it goes all the way up to sponsorship options. If you really love the idea, we want that business that loves it and wants to pioneer something to be a sponsor. These are examples of the platform. Right now we are rolling out tools. So I have a secret idea of what's happening. So I'm going to show you guys what's coming out in October. So as of right now, there's few tools that are open and we're just placing organizations and businesses at the moment. But what we're going to have is the feed. Everyone loves feeds right now, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, whether it's, what else is out there, LinkedIn, you're doing different posts on LinkedIn. It's the best thing out there to get information. So what we're doing is we're bringing everyone together into a feed. So organizations can post that they have something going on. Schools, businesses, all in one feed without searching their name. Community services. This is where we have each tool listed on the platform when you first log in. Classifieds are in there, local classifieds. You won't have spam in there. You have local coupons. Don't spend the money paying towards a platform. You can post coupons in here as a business. And we have so many salons here that go down because they're spending so much money and losing a lot of profit because they're, say, using Groupon. It's a great platform, wonderful. However, they're paying a large percentage towards that platform. So what we're doing is we're bringing in, all for a monthly membership or free, to do these local coupons. So they can post unlimited. Local read, working with editors, working with newspapers, working with magazines in the city. I just recently met with a magazine who's really excited about it. So bringing them and connecting everyone to say what they have going on. If it's, let's say, the newspaper in town. I won't name names, but we have a really great newspaper in town. I'm sure we all read it. That newspaper, we want to work with them. We want to promote them. We want to help a local see something in the feed or in the local read to link to their website or get a new subscription with that newspaper to help them more. Jobs and careers, employment, it's always great. So posting free employment options for the locals. They don't have to search for it as much anymore. Emergency services. Anyone at about 1 a.m. have an issue with their house? I'm sure somebody has at one point in their life. No? Okay, well, emergency services. I know I had a water line break. I live out in the middle, and we had a big issue at 1 in the morning, and I would have loved to see somewhere where it said all the 24-hour services that were available. Would have been nice. Instead, we were searching, calling people, finally found something. So this is where we're going to have these 24-hour services available. So they see who is there. If their tire breaks down, if their water line breaks, there's help. Digital concierge, it's a lead generation tool. So we're able to help get leads for businesses. If a local is in the area, they're new to the area, they're looking for a realtor, or they're looking for the best restaurant, we can help them get ideas and have, a good list of what they can look for. Event calendar, organizations and our community partners and our team are able to post to the event calendar. So if there's ribbon cutting ceremonies happening, if there's a special event that, say, the Rotary is doing, we can post that on there. Locals see that. It's not full of, from the users, a birthday party or different things that are smaller. It's more local, public-wide. Then our businesses. The best section shows the businesses, the organizations, all in a directory. Lost and found, and user groups. Examples here, classifieds, lost and found. Our directory here on the far left. We have, like I said, the organizations. So there's sections that are for them. So they're getting more exposure, more ideas, and more people coming to them. Let's say say we have a veteran. I'm close to this one. So I came into town, had no idea where to go. I didn't know who to talk to, didn't know where the resources were other than on base. Well, I'm no longer active duty, I can't get on base. So To know that there's a category for veteran support, that's wonderful. Business listings, every business is listed by the time they come in. So if someone signs on today, they are placed at the top if that category is not yet filled. By filled, I mean already have businesses in it. They come in and they're placed based on the time that they join. Map view, of course, you always get your geographical view, and offers and incentives. A user can look through these different categories and see different coupons going on. They can connect with them. This heart is no longer there. It's a connect link. So we say connect with them. It's an example of a business profile. Like I said, it's a little link icon now. They can become your VIP. You can become a business's VIP, an organization's VIP. Someone can find the Rotary LVWON, and they can jump in and connect with you. And what does that do? Gives you then have a loyalty program. You're then able to send out direct messages to them, send out text messages to them with your local project profile. Goes through, of course, we all love reviews. We have reviews on there as well. And this is not integrated with Yelp or Google. This is local. So it starts local, stays local. We're changing the face of how locals connect with small businesses in the community. And that's our main goal. We are working local. 2-in-1, we're a blend of you have advertising technology, always nice. Everyone loves advertising at the good cost. So the reason why we have a good cost is it's cheap, it's affordable, because it's local, and it's a high volume of numbers that we have coming in. So we have people that are joining, and as these numbers are getting higher and higher, we're able to keep the price down. Our VIP Connect is probably our best and most interesting tool. The VIP Connect, as New York Times says, mobile text messaging may be the closest thing in the information overloaded digital marketing world to a guaranteed read. You direct message someone, they're going to read it. You email them, they might read it. You send it on Facebook, possibly could read it. But these are just different tools for you as a business or an organization. Las Vegas One, great thing to do. Our tools again, loyalty, scheduling, texting. I mean, we have quite a few tools that are rolling out between now and October, more in January. This is how placement goes. So we have different tiers. So our first one, we have our platinum sponsor. This is an example of the Houston market. So a platinum sponsor comes in, they get banner ads, they get top placement if there wasn't one already there. Unfortunately for Houston, Clear Lake Auto hit them in first. So Clear Lake Auto was #1. Texas Auto is a sponsor. They now have a banner ad advertising in every screen on local project, which is amazing. So if someone's in classifieds, they see that business. Those are the ones we want to know who are the local top guns, who are the ones that are locally ran, locally owned, and the great places to go. So those are the ones we want to broadcast. Then it goes down, we have the category sponsor, featured businesses, annual businesses, and then our free would be down at the bottom. So that's the platform. Like I said, we're very involved with the community. That's our main goal, is to really just bring the community together, whether it's organizations, nonprofits, churches, schools. And I'm here today to tell you guys about what we're doing. We just released and we're looking for support. It's the best way to locally connect to everybody. That's the local project.
Cool.
That's too short for you.
No, you don't have to leave because there's questions.
Yes, I'm
And
sure
will
there
be
is,
plenty of
actually.
questions.
I always have questions. Who's first? Yes.
Okay, how do you have an organization like us, how do we go on and where do we log in and how does that work? And is there an updated cost to it down the road, or how do you perceive this being 1 year out, 3
Great
years out?
question. Yep. So this is not to be changed. These prices are to change, they're to stay, especially for our nonprofits, especially for our groups, organizations, schools, churches. That's the biggest thing. We have PTAs that we want to help. We don't want to just sit there and say, oh, it's free right now or later. That's the issue everyone's facing right now. Is one platform says, oh, it's free, and then 6 months down the road, bam, you're hit with a bill, or you're hit with, we can't have you on here anymore because we have a fee. We're not doing that. That's the issue that we're trying to change. So that's not going to change. In order for organizations to get on board, the community groups, We actually work personally with them. So we want to sit down with whoever it would be in the, let's say the Rotary. We sit down one-on-one and just go through what are the things you're looking for. What is it that excites you about the local project? How can you use it? Talk about that. We build the profile with you. And then at that time, you then get a back office. So you're able to go in, feed the feed, we like to say. At that time, you're able to update any information, add photos. You can constantly change things. So you have that back office to do that.
There's 17, in Southern Nevada, there's 17 local Rotary clubs, so we're more than happy to give you all of them and let you have a contact person with each one of them. Because if you're building it that way, and that gives us better awareness, that would be perfect.
Absolutely. You have 17. That's amazing. I didn't know that. They have 4 or 5. See, I learn things every day. That would actually be probably something that we would look at doing a category for. So within, where was it? I'm a Southern Nevada director, by the way, so I can make a little bit of changes for you. Let's see. So right here, we have the community organizations. What we would do is put Rotary as its own category because you have so many. And then there would be a drop, and when they click on that category, then it would break down all the different chapters. So if that's something that we could definitely look into.
So you talked about earlier the 24 hours, right? So when your water line broke, you would have liked to have known where you could have gone to find the services in 24 hours. But the question I have is how do I know to go here to look for that, right? So how is the local project being promoted so that I know the local project exists, so I know to go look at the local project when I need it?
Absolutely. So right now we have 13 people who are out there promoting it. We do not do billboards, we do not do ads on Google or Facebook because we are trying to stay local. The problem with those different advertisements are you get all the people outside of the area. So what we're doing is we have ambassadors that are going out there, and we're doing a huge influx right now of people coming in for this. Is we're looking at having high numbers of ambassadors on the streets, handing out cards, having a code that says, like, so they can, the users can have that code to say this ambassador told me about it. These ambassadors are basically promoters. I know in Las Vegas you see promoters every day. What they're doing is they're working with community groups too. So every community group that comes on uses VIP Connect. So they want all their following to get on the app. So let's say, for example, City of North Las Vegas is on. We have working with PIO for City, and what they're doing is we're helping them with their development. So what they're doing is they're able to send out that mass message, we're on the local project, download the app, connect with us, and that's bringing on users. So these users who constantly come on can see these groups as they go through. And that's where feeding to the feed will get you noticed more.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so when you say feed to the feed, is it on the individual to push information to their feed for it to grow, or are they trying to get it to grow organically, or how does the feed grow?
So the feed grows based off all the organizations and all the businesses. And then our team ourselves, we are in there putting different things as well. So it grows as organizations get involved. So that's where if you came onto the local project, we'd want to know what's happening with Rotary. What news do you have? Are you working with a new school? What have you accomplished? And as soon as you came on, we would want to get some things from the past couple of months, just things that you've done, like talk about things that have happened, and that gets people interested as well. Yeah. And then October, that VIP Connect opens. So right now, everyone is building their Connect lists. So they're building their VIPs.
Right.
So in October, you'll be able to start doing those direct messages and feeding out more information directly to your followers, your VIPs.
How do you guys survive if you don't charge anything?
We do charge. So we have the free and we have the nonprofit community group side. But what we do is we have all the businesses coming in based off of placement. So it ranges between $99 for an annual membership up to, or not membership, but $99 to come in for a year. There's the next level is, I'll show you. So here, So our annual businesses, they pay $99 just to be listed, have the profile, and post 2 promotions. Then we have our featured businesses, that's $199 a month. From there, we have our category sponsors, that's $299 a month, and then platinum sponsors, $399 a month. Now there's discounts if people refer people. So if, say, a business refers someone, they get a $50 discount, they refer another one, they get another discount. So it just depends what levels they're at, but we are not putting everyone for free, and there's a limit. So if, say, we have a category that comes on and there's 5 that are free, and for some reason we're not getting anyone paying, we're stopping that category. So, and there's interest to it, there's reasons behind buying a membership, the tools. So businesses can have that loyalty program, businesses have the scheduling option, businesses have different options with these tools, and that's why they want to join. It's not just a directory with a listing.
How many users do you have in Las Vegas?
Right now we have 250, we just released 2 weeks ago. So we are growing, and this is something that definitely is the nonprofits and the schools and the businesses coming on that are pioneering this app. I think she was right, sorry.
So you already have companies being part of that?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Right now I think we have 20 on, and we just released.
So do you have testimonials about because you're a new company?
I do. I have one that's part of the Rotary, but he's not here.
How convenient, right?
Yeah, but
He sent you here and didn't come so he could give his testimony.
And then you had a question?
So in the context of school, so I teach at a school.
Oh, wonderful.
So how do you see this being useful to students who want to look for stuff? Or like, let's say,
Right.
if the school buys a license and then they somehow can get access, so they can, and their parents can have access to some of these things, and stuff like those resources or things.
Mhm.
That's an issue for a lot of my students, especially the ones whose parents they can't run these apps or, play with them or whatever, but the student can.
Yeah.
Provide information to the parents, so like, how do you see this working with
The
students in schools?
Yeah, that's great. So let's say a school signs on. There's different programs that they have. They have arts programs, sports. The PTAs is a big one that we've had a lot of interest from. When these groups within these schools sign on, they can sign on as a school, and the school can have just one login where they send out information, say report cards were sent out today or whatever, or for the kids, something's coming up. They can send out those direct messages to these kids. So these kids would want to VIP connect. So they want to become VIPs of their school. Yeah, and that's where it's really about loyalty to the kids too. And then the parents, yeah. So it just would, I guess, depend on if the student's on it or if the parent, but both information, all the information can be sent out. And then the event calendar is really big too. So when there's games or anything going on or any kind of program starting, we'd want to put that on there. Yeah. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else?
And then of the businesses that you have on there, so what's the category that generally gravitates here? Is it
The
retail? Is
category?
it restaurant? Is it automotive? You talked
Yeah.
about hairdressers. So what's the profile of your typical business
Right.
customer?
Right now it's across the board. We have realtors, loan officers, we have lawyers coming on next week, we have salons coming on next week. We are looking at, what else do I have? Restaurants. Restaurants is a big one because there are so many different platforms for restaurant reviews, but we give more than reviews. They don't have to spend money on loyalty programs or rewards. They don't have to spend money on scheduling or anything like that. They're able to use this come October, so they're getting excited. Yeah, but it's really wide. The nonprofits are the big ones right now because they get so many tools, and because we're a nationwide company. Another answer to your question about the funding, because we are a nationwide company, there's 40 cities doing this, so it's not just in Las Vegas. We have a phase out there right now. We have a phase going through training in September with another group of cities that are starting, and then another one in January. So it's growing.
If one area or one city has more in the nonprofit area and almost cannot sustain, will the other cities come in and support it?
The other
If
cities.
they have more nonprofit than paying customers.
Yeah, so we have All of our funding, everything goes through our home office in Houston. So everything, it won't get shut down in one city due to that, and if it does, then there's a problem with that team. There's a problem with them going out there and actually telling the right information to these businesses, because there are tools that are there for them, and it's new, and that's the biggest risk and scare that people see, it's fear. But realizing that this is something new and it's for the community, that they're not only paying for those tools or that placement, they're paid to help the community too. Yeah.
So,
Yes.
quick question, so on the auto feed, going back to the school, let's just say there was an unfortunate incident at the school, or parents needed to know, you need to pick up your kids at the back side of the building tonight, or whatever. Would that be an automatic feed that would update to those people that are logged in, kind of like Facebook does, or not?
That would more so be for that VIP Connect. So all those parents would want to have VIP Connect. They'd want to connect with that school, because if something like that did happen, then the school can send out one message to their mass list, and then it's the points across. Yeah, they have in the back office, so the school or any business school or organization, in the back office, they have a website where they can log in. And on there's a VIP list, so everyone that connects, they get this mass listing. And then they can send out messages directly. And they can even organize it to, let's say, only the seniors, or only, certain groups, or elementary, or whatever it may be.
And so it wouldn't go up to the general public,
No.
it would go just to those parents that need that information.
If they wanted to go to the general public, then that's the feed. Yeah.
Time for one last question,
Sorry.
that's it. No, fantastic. So
Thank
you
you,
did a great
everybody.
job. Thank you so much. All right, guys, thank you so much. We are right at the hour, 5:45 exactly. So with that, meeting adjourned. All right, and anybody staying after, right? I'm buying water without ice. So we're doing, straight water shooters. So meet me at the bar. No bubbles. I don't want anybody fizzing up.
That one I'd like to get rid of. Came that way also.
Everything's right on the text.
That card coming out like 35 It's so rare motor, the motor is so rare. It doesn't motor never came in a car. No, they were
And so what
I didn't do go out after it killed. Donnie's got one too.
That's what are you doing in Tucson? So that's moving that from the east.
Equestrian order, equestrian order.
He wants to sell it on the 32s.
But what you want them to do is to
He
offer.
said last week, he got that last week. He's still got something.
In exchange for it.
I'm still sitting on my skates. My skates are
their
naked.
business.
Yeah,
On the customers, and then the private
This guy's about the best fabric.
That's what the customer wants to share with his
Absolutely.
Facebook. He just hits
But he
Facebook.
just
Software.
lives with the machines.
Customers Facebook.
I go and see that one that just begun, I'm worried about it. Programs. But I mean,
Marketers.
who's your warehouse or business? And you go to the little box there.
Top and bring it out, say low price
Come on,
price
get a
up,
week.
you share on Facebook, say low price price up, there'll be a local project button, and click there and just take a local project.
Oh, the one up front?
That's what I said. Yeah, but when you look at building,
That is
he don't sell nothing. He doesn't sell nothing. He's got the small cars and tractors. 32 are his favorite. 32 Fords. Those are his favorite.
Well, because.
Sahara has
And the other thing is-
Sahara the board. Sahara the
There is a Sahara in our
No,
as well, and it could be a key thing too. This would all be a local project.
Oh, yes, that's where it used to be.
I know that so they have 52,000 customers, they have no sales side. And I've done it for 20 years.
He just trucking. More normal stuff.
I tell them, hey, listen, would you like $100 off? And they go, I was getting my calculator. So my thing is, my information with share, they're telling their spouses, their brothers and sisters, and their golf buddies, and their friends and family. Just because social media. So every time I sell one, I usually get 3 or 4 more people call me, or 3 or 4 call me. So what's the social media? When I sell them, I get money. I haven't made a sales call. Somebody's like calling me.
And that's old
I'm using this product to do that.
His dad was a
I'm
trying to get him up there with
Yeah, but he wanted 5,000 over this, and I wanted, and I gotta wait till March to get it.
I sent you the ad.
Nobody else can
See you, Nate.
You're leaving already?
I gotta run.
I stopped to
I
see.
know we're gonna have a cocktail with
Good, I told him.
I could be done where I'm at, maybe 30 minutes, not tonight.
He
was getting a shot in his hip, he said, because I was seeing how he was. Trying to, get him to meet me maybe over the club.
Well,
He's got a,
It's a real green
he was
joke.
getting shot in his hip, he's just made problems. So I'm gonna try to.
I was impressed with you before you joined.
Me and Chris were the guys who we drink soda, water, cocktail.
Ex-com meeting.
We are. I don't know about this.
Air Force Association.
Well, he is.
You're not gonna have a drink with me?
But I did. Did you phone him? Does he know who you are?
I'm gonna email you, when he called me, I thought it was because of you yesterday. And I said, hey, what's wrong with me? He basically, he's really cool, he's like, come in anytime. Oh, really? So I was supposed to come in a couple of days ago, but I didn't.
Well, just as well, because he was in pain. I said, don't get up. So we could go there, or we could meet at whatever, I mean, he's got a nice.
Bring it up, and he asked me, and I said, I don't know. He says when he goes to another Rotary meeting, he's supposed to get a certificate he attended it. So you make use a makeup meeting.
Oh, you know what? Because we don't do that, right?
We don't?
No, because we don't keep attendance, right? So members don't have to worry
Oh,
about
but he was having a makeup meeting.
We'll make sure we do a makeup. We'll do something for you.
I don't know what the rules are.
No, so that was part of our club. So most clubs, attendance is a thing.
But you can do makeup meetings, you said if you go there.
And you do it, and he did a makeup meeting, and we'll just have to vouch for him. But we don't have the whole makeup system because we don't.
You don't know paperwork or voucher.
Well, because we don't demand it. We don't demand it of our members.
I mentioned this to Reed, but he was telling me 2 weeks ago they had the mayor of North Las Vegas, the speaker, their club.
Las Vegas Club.
And he said it was amazing. So I don't know if
John Lee?
I don't even know if you can get him over here or not, but he said he was really involved and really pro.
Probably probably a lunch one will come, because the lunch ones will seem to pack the houses. And the
I'm just saying,
evening ones will
I just
make
give you an idea, 'cause he was bragging about how good he was.
I believe it. North Las Vegas is on fire.
But he was, they're being, some applications, they're giving property to business owners. He said, in North Vegas is.
I wouldn't appreciate that, because I'm in North Las Vegas, so that's my tax time. They give a property to anybody.
I think out by Apex are talking.
Oh, yeah. All right, I'm either going to something, or I'm going to watch the bar.
I'm joining a new charter in Las Vegas, and I'm inviting all my friends to come home next Friday night for 3 hours. So anyway, we all did it. So it's roughly about 1,000 each, probably, so it's like 6,000. Next week we're 19 people. So I told the 19 people, listen, you guys can stay out.
Hi, Susan.
We're here because of Facebook kind of invited you, right? And they said, yeah. And I said, listen, we're a high town. No, you just gotta live like you have fun. I have to sit on that thing. So they put her on the right in front of me. So all 19 did it, and the next week we did it. And we did 2 or 3 more weeks after that, we got 120 working. Richard, I got 40 of my stuff, we got 120. So we did work. So he says to me, he gets all the later from Rotary, and they go, well, I go from Rotary, and yeah, they go, if you don't wear it, like your organization with 87,000 dollars in that time.
I got
All that time, I knew there were 1,000. I knew there were thousands. I knew they got over 100 people. But I didn't know we had just broken the record by like 40%. So they didn't do it in 30 days. And they were like, how the hell did you do that? Yeah.
They always do.
Maybe we can go in the end and get that, put it in the wall, we're trying to stop the problem. 14 million. So that's how it works. How people use it. Every time I watch it,
Twice a day I'm practicing. Now I'm doing this for 4 times a day.
And as I shot over your thing in Northwest,
He'll go in.
so they all take advantage of
the right one already.
inexpensively. Or I can just give it to you, but I typically say buy it, I sell for $1,000. But I can, 10 years, buy it. Take that $10 back and get $20. Or just
Rotary's good to me, because that's
take it as a
force first throughout the day.
So just fill up those burners
On those guards.
And so now, business is.
I took my right to it.
You have 2 different businesses, so sooner or later, if I'm a business that's not participating, I'm gonna walk into a business that is participating, and they're gonna ask me about my 10% off. It's not like, the local fire ad. It's not gonna have anything to do with me, it's gonna all be about you. So they're gonna be like,
Very hateful, very interesting.
But the other
Yeah, I
thing
didn't
is,
realize that you
I'm
had
gonna pull up the app.
Standing bar, basically.
Because what I was wondering, I was thinking,
I mean, I had to shut up.
so we have a police.
every single person who uses it, they'll be there, especially through, your stuff, they'll open it. So there'll be one link with that, and one thing, you don't want to make you're not make sure that you're benefiting them. And then your customers, all your information is shared, but they're pulling your information. Well, business is temporary. And they're going to look at You're sharing with both us and you.
The whole thing, we just go around and talk about it, we fall down.
Yeah.
We report right now, it's only 8%.
They want to use
You probably learned something back in the old days before you got stressed like that. Somebody probably stood on concrete. Yeah, right. Stress match became a new thing. And only like big bars, you can't incorporate regular bars with a concrete. And that concrete not only destroys the feet,
I think that
The first time you said that until we.
Can you look at light on the ground?
Now I take
So
instead of looking like this.
the other way, my heart is not quite flat, because you can't really get up if you have flat feet, but really.
So I know this counts. The first time,
I'm like,
you name your email and cell phone. And when I did it, enter the code from your cell phone, because we send you a text right away.
I guess they learned very early on. Problem.
So now you've got the verified cell phone and email, and that's the back end. And then it'll take you to the QID. And so you can still share. But what you're saying is you want the $10.
This is what the piece looks like.
Or give us this and share. The next time you, because I'll drop a cookie once you register. And so the next time you set it on there, you won't see this screen, because I already know.
Oh, in the end, that was the top. Okay, all right.
And it remembers that.
Some places that doesn't exist. Yeah, that's what I know.
Yeah. The customer says, when I scan and share, do I know who shared with them?
No yardstick, no.
If you want to know.
Yeah, right.
I was like, how did he hate it? Now, as these names start to accrue, and I send this to you.
No, I get it.
So Ted Weed says, I have empty base.
Our chair pulled through, usually lasts.
So now it's going to go into our back end. And text us, anybody who's been in the store in the last 6
Really,
months.
sir.
And text the last thing.
Exactly.
So,
Well, no.
he's just going to say exactly like that.
What up?
And so, if everybody can have that, I can do that in business.
Oh, okay. That's all right, well, you can keep looking through.
Have their phone on there and then be able to.
Something to do, my job is.
Great. Trust me, we can do that.
Pardon?
He works for a big corporation, he works on a planner.
Yeah, my card says, I'm
No,
or send me an email to X, Y, or your
That business,
and I'll make sure it's
What
there.
do you use for CRM?
I use ProsperWorks.
That's multiple jobs.
Changed for ProsperWorks? I was using LeadMaster, and then I went to Suite CRM, and then somebody showed me ProsperWorks, and I was like, you know what? This is so easy, and the fact that when I send a Gmail, it shows up on ProsperWorks, and in fact, when I'm sending an email, ProsperWorks stuff shows up. It's like, it's not, there's things that I was like, oh, can I do this? And he's like, that doesn't make sense. Can I send a stock email that fills in the information, like, I'm gonna get you from CRM, and he's like, not yet. And I'm like, when I like to take, somebody says, come here in 2 weeks, I like to, okay, I'm 2 weeks, but I like the existing people. So I don't click it, and I was like, oh yeah, I don't know your else to do it. I want to, he goes, well, you
No,
know,
it's like Texas papers, you know, this here, there's another, something, a V is shapes that's her. It's a turnaround. So,
why wouldn't you just have a band and have one little field called wake up day?
Yeah.
And if it's a band, and the wake up day is there, behind us, now it's open again.
We're using Go for CRM because it's.
I see, so they're not just an independent restaurant.
Right. I used to about 3 years ago. They crashed.
But they're not big like these. These guys are big.
So I couldn't use it.
Really?
Texas papers,
And I lost a month's worth of data. And they were just like, we're very sorry, we have our time. So I just said, I don't care what happened. I'm definitely not gonna work with this company ever again.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, right. That would run the other way with it, they didn't fix it.
That was much better than that. That was like 3 years ago.
I know, I'll find out.
Oh, I see.
Maybe I'll take another laser zone.
So it's still a small place. It's still a small restaurant. They got one at you, they got one.
I'm gonna go see Frozen with my 3-year-old. Shirley. You bet, take care.
And then
It's not like this is a big, like,